So hi everyone, this is going to be a review on the ID bareMinerals Loose Mineral Powder. Now this was actually sent to me by Recreate Yourself, which is www.ry.com.au, and I'll put a link down below. They're an online store that sells basically makeup, beauty, hair care. I haven't tried the actual foundation in ID bareMinerals, which is by Bare Escentuals Inc. I have tried the mineral veil. You can use it as an all-over colour or a setting powder, and I've only tried the prime time range, which is the actual primers, the eyelid and the face primers, which I actually love. I'll put a link down below to that post as well. I've been using this now for about 7.5 weeks, so I've literally given this product a really good break-in. Just as a foundation, I've been trying it even as a setting powder. I've tried it over my different types of moisturizers, my SPF creams, my tinted creams, even over my different types of foundations. And under lots of different conditions. So I've been wearing it all day, I've been wearing it just to work, I've been wearing it when I've gone out. So what I'll do is I'll do a quick overview of the product, I'll give you my thoughts and feelings on it, and also give you a more detailed sort of breakdown of the actual ingredients if you're really keen on trying mineral makeup. Now firstly with this one, it is 9 grams, the actual product. And typically I have seen in a lot of different loose sort of foundations that have the mineral powder, typically about 9 to 9.5 to 10 grams is like your average. Now this is the medium beige they sent me, which I was told was their more common shade. Now I'm going to try and open this carefully, because what I've actually done, I hope you can actually see the colour there, but I've also taken some shots, which I'll put a link down below to Facebook and my blog, so hopefully you'll be able to see it a little bit more clearly. This does actually have a sifter top, but I've actually been sort of shaking this around while I've been taking photos of it, and I've sort of tipped this a little bit loose. What I do recommend with your loose mineral powders, or even just loose powders in general, even if it does come with a sifter, to leave the little plastic sleeve over the top and maybe just poke a few holes in it. That way if you do accidentally tip it upside down and do shake it around quite a bit, you don't lose so much sort of product on there and have to be extra careful when you're going to use it. Another thing is you can even replace the actual sifter lid with the ones that actually come with a divider, so that way you can actually close it over the top, so even if you are traveling with a product, it is getting thrown around a little bit, you're not actually losing any product out of the actual container over, like around the actual lid and stuff like that. So that's just a little tip there. Now this is an SPF 15. A lot of different mineral powders you will find do have SPF coverage. I'll get to that in a moment when I go through the ingredients in more detail. But this one I have found it is very, very silky. It's a lovely powder finish. I'll just see if I can grab some actually on my hand. Now generally, I've just put a whole heap on there, so if you'll be able to sort of see. Generally with powders, foundations, I am normally classed as from very fair, like to ivory, even down to like light beige, sometimes medium beige, but with this one has actually been quite good, because I am a little bit more tanned up. Again, it is quite hard to see in this lighting on my camera the actual skin tone. I actually have it on at the moment over my tinted moisturizer, but it is a fairly good match. It's sort of hard to see on my hand. Does look a bit pinky there in the actual light, but that's just basically because of my camera. With the mineral powder you can actually sort of build it up, and I found this is no exception. Some days I might want a light sort of coverage, one overall coverage with the face, and then I can, if I'm maybe going out, on more coverage on my face, maybe to sort of cover a little bit more of my freckles, or even if there's blemishes in that, I can sort of build it up a little bit more, and it's just a case of building it up with your brush. For mineral makeup, I generally like to use denser brushes, which I've been using with the ID bareMinerals one. I use a range of different ones. I've got my Eco Tools ones, which is actually a bronzer brush, but it's really soft but very dense. It's bristles. Really good to really get a good amount of the powder on there, and I normally just dip it in the powder and then tap it off inside the lid, so I'm not actually using too much. So what I want to do is actually build up the coverage of the powder on my face. I'm just doing this slightly just to give you a general idea, but what I do is I normally just sweep it around and build it up over my face, so I can do 1 or 2 coats just depending on the amount of coverage that I want with the product. Other brushes I can use, even sort of like more clipped brushes. This is my Raw Langnickel foundation powder brush. You can see there, but it is very, very soft but very dense sort of bristles. There's other different types of brushes out there, like you can go to different mineral brands as well, like Nude Mineral. They have different brushes as well that you can use that are fairly dense but soft bristles. bareMinerals have their own sort of makeup brush line, or even other ones like your Artiste Professional by Manicure give quite good dense brushes as well. And this is again the bronzer brush. But all the brushes worked fine with the product. I was really able to get light or good coverage with the actual product. I also like the fact that it's not too, the best way I can say it, is too shiny. I know some people are under the impression that mineral makeup in general is just basically going to give you a really shiny disco ball sort of appearance. That does actually depend on the type of ingredients that it's got and the sort of combination. Again, I'll get to that in a moment. With this one, it gives me just a light sort of sheen to the face. It's not very pearlescent, but it's also not very powdery. Like, it doesn't give me a cakey finish if you're worried about that. It's also very silky and very soft. It's actually very, very fine. It's been ground very fine as well. So my overall thoughts on the actual product, the colour wise, Medium Beige has been great for me for summer. I might need a slightly lighter colour for sort of winter. I do actually tend to pale up quite a bit there, and I do like my sort of makeup to look like it's more my natural skin colour rather than an actual colour to my skin. The SPF 15, I love the fact that you get SPF coverage in most mineral powders anyway. Again, I'll get to that in a moment. 9 grams, again, a standard for this sort of type of loose mineral powder. Very happy with this. Price wise, on the website, it looks like their normal price is $58, but at the moment they've got it marked down to $52.50. Again, I've got a link down below. Want to check that out. And again, I love the actual finish, the coverage that it's been giving me. It's worked well over all of my different sort of products, and even as a setting powder, it's actually worked well as that. Been able to build it up fine, like I said. And with my actual skin type, my skin type is combination too oily. I generally tend to be a little bit more oily in summer. It's been worked well with that for absorbency, but it hasn't actually gone into any of my fine lines. I don't have many fine lines at the moment though. With actual any irritation with the product, I haven't experienced any sort of breakouts or sensitivity. In general, my skin isn't very sensitive. Even at the moment, I am actually pregnant. Hasn't caused me any issues, and again, it's a natural sort of product, but I will get to the actual ingredients now. So with the actual ingredients, I'll just put a quick screenshot up so you can have a look. So as you can see with that one, it's only a breakdown of about 5 ingredients. It does actually mean there are more ingredients in there. It just lists, for example, it may list iron oxides. Again, that can be a different mixture of different iron oxides. Your mineral powders or your mineral makeup, you're not getting a whole lot of the different sort of products that you do tend to see in more of your standard brands. Like, you don't have a whole lot of fragrances, you don't have talc, you don't have a lot of different dyes, etc., that sort of preservatives that you get in a lot of different makeup types that some people may experience allergic reactions to or may be sensitive to. So mineral makeup in general is pretty good for those people that may be sensitive to talcs or dyes or different fragrances. This doesn't have any smell or any fragrance to it. And I'll get to the actual ingredients to give you a little bit of a breakdown if you are interested in actual mineral makeup or purchasing this product. Now, the first one it's got in here is mica. Mica, you get different types of mica. It's basically just a crushed mineral mica. There are different types depending on how sort of pearlescent you want the sort of product to be. So mica in general does give you a slight of pearlescent, sort of shimmery look to the actual powder or product. But depending on if you're mixing the mica with, say, the titanium oxide and zinc oxide, which is also in this product, the combination of that can sort of tone down that pearlescence, because zinc and titanium oxide are both matte finishes. And then your iron oxides as well in combination for titanium and the mica can be used to give you the actual tone or the colour to the product. In this case, it's a medium beige product, and depending on the different concentrations and different types, like with the iron oxide, you can have red, black or yellow. Are your most common, can be used to mix the actual. And now mica, as far as coverage, it is basically a medium coverage. Zinc and titanium oxide both have good coverage, so good coverage for the foundation. They're also good absorbency. They also have good what's called slip. Slip's basically in the product where it basically gives you that sort of easy glide or the actual to blend and cover the face. So they're good for that. Probably of good benefit as well is the fact that zinc and titanium oxides are both good natural sunscreens, so they'll be giving you that SPF 15 in the actual product. Then you have, as I mentioned before, your iron oxides can be your pigments, your actual colours. It does list on the back here 3 different ones on here with the number, which is probably the red, black and yellow. Again, the concentrations will give you the colour with the mica and the titanium oxide. Now, some mineral makeup. Now, the other one I do have to mention that's in here is the bismuth oxychloride. Now, some brands or different mineral makeup will have cerussite instead. Basically, bismuth oxychloride or cerussite give you that sort of, they give translucent coverage, but they will give you that shiny sort of finish. Now, the only thing with bismuth oxychloride is that there has been some debate on whether that product will cause some sort of reaction or irritation to people's skin that are maybe more sensitive to products or are prone to acne or breakouts. So that's just something to take into consideration. Me personally, I had absolutely no reaction. I don't tend to break out. I am actually pregnant at the moment, as I mentioned, and my skin is getting a little bit more sensitive. I didn't have any issues with this product or using it. My friend even tried a little bit of this. It was a little bit too dark for her, but she had no reaction to that one as well. But it is something to keep in mind. That's something more you make your own mind up on, but I'll put a list of the ingredients down below again, and that screenshot will be on my Facebook and also on my blog for you to check out. So that's basically overall. I do actually like the product. Appreciate Recreate Yourself for giving me the opportunity to buy the foundation. Also, just quickly, with the sticker on the front, it's got the InStyle Winner 2010 Best Beauty Buys. Now, I was just quickly curious, I looked it up myself. So, in the InStyle Australian magazine, it came, I think, number 4 Hall of Fame for mineral was the bareMinerals Loose Mineral Powder. But I actually looked up InStyle US, and I'll also link that down below, and it came as one of the best beauty buys in 2010. Guys, I'm not getting sponsored to actually do this review. I was sent this to give my honest opinion and make up your own mind on how you feel about the ingredients and the actual product. Do you like loose powders? If you do like products that have nice silky sort of feeling to the skin that you can sort of build up and that are more natural, it's definitely something to keep in mind. So I'll put all those links down below and the information, and hopefully enjoy. Take care, guys.